David Zaslav is at it again. After, a year ago, I think it was, they canceled Batgirl. Batgirl, which was totally filmed, nearly completed in every form and fashion that it could be completed. And they canceled it to get a tax write-off. A year after that, Warner Brothers and David Zaslav decide to shelve another movie. One that probably would have done really, really well with fans and financially. John Cena's Coyote vs. Acme movie is canceled. It's shelved. It's done. They're writing it off. They're looking to get, I think it cost them like $100 million to make this thing. And with the tax write-off, they're going to get like $50 to $60 million in a tax write-off. But it finished filming a year ago. And here's the thing. I get it. David Zaslav is trying to save Warner Brothers money. He's trying to do what he can to save that company money. And things just have not been going well for Warner Brothers. But let's not think for a second that this was a good move. This was probably the worst move that he could have made. Now, this feature was greenlit as an HBO Max film way, way back in the day. And then it was considered to be a theatrical release. This is coming from The Hollywood Reporter, a little over a year after shelving Batgirl. And that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Warner Brothers is putting another of its films in the studio vault. Warner's no longer plans to release Coyote vs. Acme, a live-action CG animation hybrid that completed principal photography last year in New Mexico. Now, this is Looney Tunes. And the one thing that I love, despite me really not liking Space Jam 2, I've always enjoyed the live-action, animated, combination of films. I love Looney Tunes back in action. I love that movie. The first Space Jam, fantastic. I've always liked when they've done those types of films. And then having John Cena in it would have been fantastic. But this movie, this is following that them doing this. This follows veteran animation executive Bill Damaschke taking over at Warner Animation Group earlier this year. And it doesn't make any sense. This movie, let's see, where is it at here? The feature, which sources believe cost around $72 million. That's it, just $72 million. They decided to cancel this. This is what you should be doing. This is the type of movies that you should be making right now. When you're hemorrhaging funds, when you're not making a lot of money, you make lower budget films. And I think this is one that they could have marketed so well. This could have had a lot of fun marketing behind it. If you find the right release date, you get your kids, you get family, you get adults. Adults love Looney Tunes still. So if they would have done this right, this could have easily made $150, $200 million. Easy money for them. With John Cena as well being the star. But here's the biggest kicker of all this. James Gunn is a producer on this movie. The head of DC Studios is a producer on this movie. Don't you think that this might cause a little turmoil between Warner Brothers and your new head at DC Studios? Look, James Gunn, I think, is going to do amazing things over with DC Studios. I wanted to see this. I want to see this. So it continues with the relaunch of Warner Brothers Pictures Animation in June. The studio has shifted its global strategy to focus on theatrical releases. A Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group spokesperson said in a statement, "With this new direction, we have made the difficult decision not to move forward with Coyote vs. Acme. We have tremendous respect for the filmmakers, cast, and crew, and are grateful for their contributions to the film." Now, here's a crazy thing. This coming from, for 3 years, I was lucky enough to make a movie about Wile E. Coyote, the most persistent, passionate, resilient character of all time. This is coming from the filmmaker David Green, and he wrote this on X. He goes, "I was surrounded by a brilliant team who poured their souls into this project. Along the ride, we were embraced by test audiences who rewarded us with fantastic scores." So it makes no sense. Why do this? Why cancel a movie that was probably going to make you money? There's something more to it. It's either terrible management or there's something else going on that we're not aware of. And I'm really curious about that. I really am, because I want to see this movie. You know, they recently canceled that Scooby-Doo film, which leaked online like 2 days after it got canceled. Obviously, the most famous one is Batgirl from last year. Batgirl, I understand. Everything that was going on with DC and Warner Brothers, it wasn't looking good. And by all accounts, it was not a well-made movie. I completely understand them canceling that. The Scooby-Doo thing I thought was kind of weird. But then this is showing me that they just don't know what they're doing right now. They have all these IPs. Warner Brothers has a shit ton of IPs, and they just don't know how to handle them. Now, this movie was originally greenlit in December of 2020 as a production for HBO Max. It was later announced that it would get a release on July 21st, 2023. However, no trailer was ever released for the film, leading to questions about the studio's intention for the project. In April of 2022, Warner's removed the feature from its release calendar, putting Barbie in its date of July 21st. I don't understand. I don't get it. No, I'm not a big studio head, but I think this one is a no-brainer. And let me see if I can pull this up real quick, because Robert Meyer Burnett made a really, really smart comment on this today. And let's see if I can find it here really quickly. He goes, is this the one here? Nope, not that one. There we go. Sidelining Coyote vs. Acme, especially after receiving great test screening scores, might be one of the dumbest decisions made by a studio head in my lifetime. The premise alone is instantly appealing for anyone who grew up on Looney Tunes, and the marketing potential is golden. Exactly. He understands it. This makes no sense. But let me know, what do you think? Do you think there's something bigger going on here? Do you think it's just lack of leadership, good leadership, smart leadership? Do you think this is going to cause an issue between Zaslav and James Gunn? It's a possibility. Who knows? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. And with all that said, guys, I'll catch y'all later.